Hello everybody and welcome to the Homestead Miami Speedway with another episode of NASCAR Heat 5 2023 Mod Career Mode, our penultimate race of this series. We're going to leave the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race results from Homestead, whereas Grant Enfinger picking up his first win of the season over Kyle Busch and championship contender Gio Ruggiero in third, followed by Riley Herbst and Chandler Smith rounding out the top 5. Luke Fenhouse, Ben Rhodes, Corey LaJoie, Butterbean, and Stuart Freeze in the top 10. Tyler Ankrum, the other Final Four driver, finishing in 16th. Not the run that Ankrum was looking for here today at Homestead, but Enfinger picks up the win. So now we'll see how that affects NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship 4 standings going into the final race at Charlotte, where Chandler Smith has an 18-point lead over Gio Ruggiero. It's basically between those two men for the championship here this season. If Ruggiero wins, he has to get 3 extra points over the 38 to win the title. If not, he has to find 18 points wherever he can. Brendan Queen, Tyler Ankrum pretty much have to have a miracle happen for them to win this championship come next episode for the series finale from Charlotte Motor Speedway. The NASCAR Xfinity Series was also in action this weekend here at Homestead, where in that race, it was William Sawalich making a huge statement win here at Homestead to retake the championship lead. Daniel Hemrick, Lane Riggs, so championship contenders finishing 1, 2, and 3, and not the run championship leader Anthony Alfredo was looking for, finishing in 14th place. Not good for him. You see the rest of the great runs for Stephen Parsons in the top 5, Carruth, Day, Allmendinger, Sieg in the top 10. But yeah, some big championship implications. Alfredo came in with a 2-point lead over Sawalich. That has now completely flipped the script, with Alfredo finishing 14th and Sawalich winning the race as we look at our Xfinity Series championship standings heading into the series finale from Charlotte next episode, where Sawalich now has a 24-point lead over Daniel Hemrick for the championship. So Sawalich, as long as there's no absolute disaster at Charlotte, he should be our champion. Lane Riggs out by 32, and Alfredo a 42-point swing, goes from leading the championship by 2 to being down by 40. Fourth of the 4 championship drivers. This is a huge collapse from him and that RCR number 21 team, but a great spot is William Sawalich for JGR, 24-point championship lead going into Charlotte. We've been practicing qualifying for today's main event, the NASCAR Cup Series Ford EcoBoost 400 here from Homestead Miami Speedway. In the background is Chase Briscoe and Austin Hill will go to the rear of the field, and Kyle Larson, last season's Homestead race winner, one of our championship rivals, puts it on pole position as we have the number 2 Freightliner Ford Mustang Dark Horse for the final time here at Homestead Miami Speedway, one of the best tracks in the game in NASCAR currently, and one of my favorite tracks to race on. As we're green and underway here in Miami. Who is going to go to victory lane, and possibly will Byron or Hamlin or Larson close in on my championship lead here tonight? We will find out as we send it to the outside of Chase Elliott from position number 15. Early in this race, right up to the outside lane, getting the big run down the back straightaway will allow us to get to the outside of Denny Hamlin for position number 13. We go by Hamlin, now setting our sights on Suarez and Eric Jones on the outside lane. 3 wide, going by Allgaier as well up into the wall. Pushing a little bit too hard there, trying to rip the wall here at Homestead. Not quite where we need it to be, but we still get a run down the front straightaway. 3 wide in the middle of Daniel Suarez and Justin Haley. Into 9th, we get a little bit of contact with the 20, and a big slide from Christopher Bell, but he saves it. What a save by Christopher Bell as he hangs on from spinning out in front of the field, allowing us to go into 8th. Now he's the outside of William Byron in a brilliant 3-wide move to the outside of Corey Heim and Carson Hocevar. That'll get us up in the 5th position, out of the top 5. A spirited charge through the field early in this race as Josh Berry battles Kyle Larson for the lead. How about Connor Zilic running in 3rd position? The rookie continuing to impress here down the stretch this season as we go by Tyler Reddick in the 45 to get into position number 4 as we work our way through stage number 1 here at Homestead Miami Speedway. It's been a great start for our Penske Ford here as we try to, of course, extend our championship lead. But now here comes the 24 of William Byron back to our inside, now battling our chief championship rival. The gap 31 points coming into this race, myself over William Byron for the championship lead. A long way to go in this opening stage. We continue to battle now for 4th position. Josh Berry in the lead. Byron goes by us in the 4th. We have to settle back down to 5th position here. But we crossed over the 24. Not going to go down that easy. So the battle continues between myself and Byron here into turn 3 and 4. As we send it in on the 24, we will clear William Byron, and we are back in the race lead here at Homestead. Or sorry, not the race lead, in 4th place. Now later in the stage, we have tracked down the 99 of Connor Zilic for 3rd position, as he doesn't seem to have a good long run car here tonight, so we get to use our pace over this extended run to get by Zilic on the outside. Into third place we go. Now just Larson and Berry standing between us and the race lead here with 13 to go in stage 1 here in Homestead. Continue to work our way up. Larson on the top side. The caution is out on the racetrack because there has been trouble behind us. Daniel Suarez blows a tire and collects the 48 of Alex Bowman as they go crashing the outside wall, and that will be the first caution of the day. Myself, Suarez, and Riley Herbst pit for tires and fuel, restarting 38th, 39th, and 40th. We are already ripping this outside on the restart. By the time we're down the back straightaway, we've already gained 6 positions up to 32nd, now into the top 30, flying by Jesse Love, Ty Dillon, and others. Now chasing down Sheldon Creed, Michael McDowell, the outside of Carson Quaffle, and continuing to rip the very outside lane. Got to the wall, though, in there significantly. That's going to cost us 3 positions. McDowell, Quaffle, and Creed go back by to drop back down to 28th now, as you're just pushing it a little bit too hard, trying to get to the outside lane, and the wall just snagged us there and took us a minute to get out of it. But now we get right back on the outside and get those positions right back here through turn 2 and try to get the run down the backstretch here to catch Allgaier and Haley. Josh Berry, the 21 car up at the front of the field, has had quite the dominant car early in this race. Has led damn near every lap of this race. And we're continuing to make some passes here on Priest and Haley. Now the outside of Noah Gregson for 21st position. Our teammate Joey Logano right here in the 22. Get to the outside of him. Now 3 wide, charging to the top 20 as we go by the outside of Carson Hocevar. And that'll get us into 18th position. Now catching down Todd Gilliland in the 34. We're soon to the inside of the 34. Go by him now. And now we are starting to set our eyes on the top 15 with the 48 of Bowman, as well as the Toyota duo of Eric Jones and Corey Heim. Of course, the Truck Series phenomenon himself, Heim, with the record-breaking season in 2025. Most Truck Series win by any Truck Series driver in history, with 10 and counting at the time I am recording this video. Now on the outside of Shane Van Gisbergen in the 97 to get into 13th position. Now catching our second of our 2 Penske teammates, the 12 of Ryan Blaney, now running in 12th position. Then Bubba Wallace and of course Connor Zilic seems to continue to fall back here as this race goes on. Now running in the 11th position, but I'll go 3 wide with Zilic and Blaney. Now on the inside of Bubba Wallace as well. A tremendous move here down the back straightaway gets us right back into the top 10. Now we start sights on the 45 of Tyler Reddick down the road, trying to maintain P10, and the caution will come out on the racetrack because Carson Quaffle has had a tire failure. And so now Herb, Suarez, and myself, we stay out on the racetrack, or so they stay out. I take 2 tires, so 2 to go in stage 2. Strategy shaking up the field once again here on this restart. Going to be a mad dash to get stage points. We send it easily clear Herbst for a second. Now we get to the outside lane of that Gamebridge number 7 for Spire Motorsports of Daniel Suarez, and we have taken the lead here in Homestead from Suarez. And could we be in position to win the stage? As here we are on the final lap of stage 1. We are leading this race over Ty Gibbs and Kyle Larson, our championship rival, as we try to get our 7th stage win in a row. We have been on an absolute tear in the chase, and now a little bit of contact there with Larson. We got a loose out of turn 2. And they're continuing to run the outside lane here, trying to maintain the stage win. Larson runs the bottom. It's going to be whoever gets the momentum here on the exit of turn 4. We can rip the top. Our older tires just aren't enough, and Kyle Larson is going to win stage 1 here at Homestead. We get a solid 9 points in 2nd position, followed by Ty Gibbs, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, the top 5, Berry, Byron, Suarez, Zilic, and Chastain in the top 10. So all 4 championship contenders in the top 7 earning stage points. So we've all clearly stepped up our game here tonight, especially Kyle Larson trying to come back from a 99-point hole. Now it's only 98 here, but he's still on the verge of being eliminated from championship contention. We get to the end of the outside wall here as we had to give up that track position we just got because we had to change our left side tires. So myself, Suarez, and Herbst, after restarting 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, restart in the bottom 3 positions of the grid once again. So here we are on the restart for the 2nd time already today, having to drive our way through the field. Now pushing the 17 of Chris Buescher up ahead as we go by the 0-1 of Cindric and the 33 of Ty Dillon. 17 to go in stage 2. We go by Jesse Love in the 8, Chase Briscoe in the 19. Now we're catching up to Sheldon Creed, Christian Eckes, Zane Smith, others, setting our sights on the top 25 here tonight. Chase Elliott for the moment. I have a brief period in front of this field here in Homestead as we are just making quick work of the field back here. You know, nothing we haven't done before tonight already, of course, as I mentioned. And so we are just trying to take care of our tires and see where we cycle out in all this here. Is the strategy, I think, in my opinion, worked for us. But we did get those 9 stage points, which allowed us to extend our championship lead over Byron and Denny Hamlin. And we have such a huge lead over Larson. I'm not really worried that he won that stage. We hit the wall, big contact with John Nemechek down the back straightaway. A crucial mistake there on my end, just being a little too aggressive and we get into the wall on entry to turn 3 as well. Just, trying to push here to get these positions, and I just need to rein it in just a little bit to avoid tearing up the race car here. So now we get a huge run on the outside lane and goes surging past Carson Hocevar and Justin Haley. That puts us in the 19th position now, chasing down our teammate Joey Logano, the 3-time Cup Series champion. We get to the inside of him for 18th position on this speedway, and we will make the pass now to go chase down a hunk of cars in front of us. Trouble 54, Ty Gibbs blowing a tire down the backstretch from second, and there goes Ty Gibbs into the outside wall. Larson involved as well. Gibbs crashing to the inside, no caution, we stay green, and Ty Gibbs, who is running second, is done for the night here in Homestead, and we now catch this group of cars running in 17th. We have Blaney, Wallace, Heim, Jones, Gilliland all under a blanket right in front of us. We somehow squeeze to the outside of Wallace here into turn 1 with 12 to go in this second stage of racing. Then we get into the wall once again. Eric Jones, making a car just get tight, beneath the wake of his car. The dirty air got us loose right there, so he had to readjust. Now we're pushing Wallace down the back straightaway as we go back by Blaney and Corey Heim. Once again, to turn 3, we're just going to send it in 3 wide, and the car is going to respond well. We use up the 43 of Eric Jones quite a bit here through the corner, but that'll get us the momentum to get into 13th. Now set our sights on the 34 of Gilliland once again here down the back straightaway. And we go by Todd Gilliland. Into 12th we go now, chasing down the 99 of Connor Zilich, as well as Shane Van Gisbergen and his Trackhouse teammate. The overall Trackhouse Racing having a really good run here tonight. All 3 cars inside the top 15. Chastain, Zilich, SVG having a heck of a night. Now cars are pitting. Bowman, Hamlin, and Byron are in, which jumps us up to 8th position. 7 to go in stage 2. Looks like we're going to have our first green flag pit stop cycle go through here as we battle the 45 for 7th. Right up in front of him there is Van Gisbergen running in 6th. There's a car though with smoke up ahead. This could potentially bring out a caution and change the game. We'll see what happens, but someone has a tire issue smoking out the back of that car. That's actually going to be the one of Ross Chastain. Just when I was mentioning how good Trackhouse was doing, Chastain loses a tire. He will pit, Bell will pit, SVG, everybody will pit except us. We cycle out to be the race leader. Here with 6 to go on the stage, Suarez, Herbst on my same strategy stay out as well, but now we come in for a scheduled green flag pit stop here right at the end of stage 2. It's going to be 2 tires and fuel. My strategy call to try to get out, steal some more stage points than we were in position to earn there when the cycle began. So ideally, what happened here is we come out of the pits, we come out as the race leader once we pass Suarez and Herbst, and then we run about 1 lap and a caution comes out. That would be the absolute perfect scenario for us here, and we would win the stage. We'd have track position, and we would be in great shape. So here we are passing Suarez and Herbst as we go by pit road. So we are now back into the lead of the race. 4 to go here in stage number 2. And while we're doing that, there's trouble. 0-1 of Austin Cindric blows a tire down the back straightaway, spinning into the outside wall. Turn 2, that is my correction. He comes down the track, gets hit by Cole Custer, and that will bring out the caution. That is exactly what we needed to end stage 2. We win stage 2 over Denny Hamlin, Josh Berry, Byron, and Larson. So 4 of the top 5 are the championship 4 drivers. And then Elliott, Bowman, Suarez, Reddick, and Jones ran out the top 10. So we play the strategy call brilliantly, and we have earned the most stage points of anyone here tonight with a whopping 19, and get our 7th stage win in the last 8 stages that we have run here. So now we are restarting 28th on the outside of Byron, Hamlin, Bowman, as those 3 are on the same strategy as myself, coming back down pit road at the end of that stage to top off on fuel and getting 4 tires. But now we are zoomed already by them and zooming by all the cars that are on older tires, and are a bit slower than us here on this restart into the top 20 easily. Huge run on Chase Briscoe, and we make the outside lane work, and we continue to surge forward through this pack now, catching up to Ryan Preece and Justin Allgaier, who've been about a mid-pack about all day long here. We'll go by them. Carson Hocevar just up the road back into the top 15 with John Hunter Nemechek. We get a big run here. We have to get into the wall a little bit there as Hocevar came up into us. We had to lift to avoid plowing into the back of Nemechek. So we get to the inside of Hocevar. Nemechek make that pass now, get into 14th, and third sights on the 4 of Gregson and the 35 of Herbst, who actually stayed out. 12th, him and Suarez both stayed out to commit to that strategy. Obviously now working with 35. He's dropping like a stone through the field right now. And now we're catching our teammates of Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano. Of course, they have been this mid-pack today as well. It's really disappointed, as I thought Blaney's usually a lot better, especially here in Miami. but he just doesn't really have it today. As we get to the inside of Blaney to get into 11th. How about the 34? Todd Gilliland's had a heck of a run here tonight. Top 10, top 15, pretty much all night long, using the strategy well to him, as once again Josh Berry's out front leading this race. Berry has led pretty much the most laps tonight, but has no stage wins to show for it. As you go by Gilliland now back into the top 10, 25 laps remaining. Then you got Trackhouse, who's actually benefited quite nicely from all these cautions. Connor Zilich running here 9th. Chastain, even with the blown tire he had coming to pit road under green, is up there running in 6th position. How about that? As we now easily pass Zilich to 9th and now catch up to Daniel Suarez, who of course is the main guy on our strategy there that we were battling. So now it's important that we get by him, even though we are on a slightly better strategy now, which we do, and we barely get to the inside of the 45 with Tyler Reddick on his left rear right there. Gets us up to 7th now with 21 laps to go. We're continuing a great charge through the field, up 21 positions. Now we have caught the Trackhouse duo of Ross Chastain and SVG. How about SVG, man? Running top 5, top 6 on pace. A really, really good run here tonight for Van Gisbergen on an intermediate, clearly showing improvement. As we go by him to 6th, now to the inside of Chastain to break into the top 5. Byron a couple cars behind us here trying to put some pressure on us, as he is the second best car on our strategy here. And that's our championship rivals. We get loose into Chastain. We go wide. Here comes Van Gisbergen back to the inside, and we are 3 wide down the front straightaway for 5th position here with 17 laps to go. It is myself, Ross Chastain, and Shane Van Gisbergen going after it with William Byron waiting in the wings. Our chief championship rival SVG makes the pass into 5th. We get the run crossover, 3 wide once again down the back straightaway. Chastain trying to make the outside lane work. I'm trying to make the inside work as we slide in front of SVG here into turn 3. Slide up into the one of Chastain. Go wide once again, but Van Gisbergen's coming to pit road, as are your leaders Bell, Larson, and Berry. So now it is myself, Chastain, and Byron battling for the lead with 16 laps to go, but we are at our point where we're going to have our final green flag pit stop cycle of the night here in Miami, or at least it should be, as we clear the 1, and we are now back in the lead of the race. And 3 and 4, we are now coming in for our pit stop. We are coming in with Ross Chastain behind us. Byron keeps it out there another lap, and it's going to be 4 tires and fuel here to get us to the end, and the caution's going to come out while we're on pit road, and this works out absolutely perfectly, exactly like we needed it to. The timing could not have been any better. This means myself and Ross Chastain, who are here on pit road, are going to stay out on the racetrack, and we're going to cycle out to be the leaders of the race. So here we are leading on the restart with just 11 laps to go here in Homestead. Our final race here at Homestead Miami Speedway in this career mode, in this series. The penultimate race of the series. We are now clear of Ross Chastain for the lead in turn 1, and can we drive away and finally get a Homestead win when we get in the outside wall? Bit of a mistake there in turn 2. Here comes William Byron, our championship rival, to the inside, and all of a sudden we had this championship what felt like on lockdown. All of a sudden, Byron, looking to get his 2nd win in a row, could completely change it and make himself within striking distance going into the series finale at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Next episode is then we were trying to battle Byron and Chastain, trying to make this outside lane work, but it's just not coming in early in this run. And Denny Hamlin is in this conversation as well in 4th position. The 11, another one of our championship rivals here in his final season of his career. In his final time at Homestead here, we get a big run down the backstretch, get to the outside of the 24 of William Byron, really trying to make this work. Look at the 1 of Ross Chastain. Chastain to the lead here in Homestead for Trackhouse and Honda. Surging by our rival William Byron is exactly what we needed him to do here. 8 to go. That gives us the opportunity to swing to the inside of Byron and try to take this championship lead back and extend it here tonight as we extend it by the 24. But now Denny Hamlin is going to drive his way into 2nd, but Hamlin is a pretty far ways back in the point side of things. So, you know, all things aside, 2nd place finish for him would not be the end of the world for us. We'd be able to tolerate that. So we just got to try to keep the 24 Byron behind us here as we run in 3rd position. Looks like Ross Chastain is off to the races here for the victory. We get a little bit tight up the racetrack, and now here comes William Byron to our inside as we try to hold him off for 3rd. Every point mattering in this championship fight here in this final season of our NASCAR Heat 5 career. Can we find a way to beat Byron? 6 laps to go. We make a little bit of contact trying to get to the inside, and a huge side for William Byron, and a huge moment in the championship as Byron slides, but he saves it. But he loses a point to myself, and now white flag in the air. Final lap presented by Credit One Bank here at Homestead Miami Speedway for Ross Chastain, looking to get Honda's 2nd ever NASCAR win, and both coming in the last 6 races. Of course, Connor Zilich won back in Las Vegas. And now it is time for Ross the Boss Chastain getting redemption for last season here in Homestead, as Ross Chastain wins in Homestead, Miami to complete a good season for Honda and Trackhouse. Denny Hamlin comes home second. We come across third in a huge performance to extremely boost our championship hopes heading into the series finale at Charlotte. So here are the final race results. Ross Chastain gets Trackhouse and Honda their second win in the Cup Series. Championship 4, second, third, fourth. Hamlin, myself, Byron, Bowman, a great top 5 effort. Eric Jones, 6th. Daniel Suarez played the strategy great all day. Comes home P7. How about Zane Smith, Joey Logano, and Corey Heim in the top 10? How about Sheldon Creed to the top 15? Both Rick Ware cars in the top 20. Herbst falls late to 19th. And Kyle Larson trapped a lap down because of that late caution, finishes 24th. Obviously him, Elliott, Zilich, Bell, Reddick had a lot better cars, not the finishes they were deserving of today. So with that sets our championship standings, where Larson and Hamlin have officially been eliminated from championship contention after Homestead. There's no way Hamlin and Larson can make up the points on myself at Charlotte, so it is down to myself and William Byron for the final championship of this career mode. We're trying to go for 5 in a row. We have a 40-point cushion on Byron, so basically as long as we finish 25th or better, we pretty much have this championship on lock here for our 5th straight. Very Jimmy Johnson-esque, as we are deadly consistent in the chase for the Cup here, as William Byron will give it everything he's got, I'm sure. So it should be a good one for the series finale. So as we conclude this episode, as always, I want to thank my channel members. Thank you so much to JJ, Brenda Breen, and Jeremy Isley. I really, really appreciate you guys' support. It means a ton to me. Helps us channel and I continue to grow, produce some awesome content. Now pushing towards 2,000 subscribers. So if you guys are watching and are not subscribed, please do subscribe. It's completely free. It only takes a couple of seconds, and I would really, really appreciate it. And until next episode, for the final time in this career mode in NASCAR Heat 5, I hope you all have a good one.